Hello everyone, welcome to the Garage Studio. So this is where I actually work. And I've been working here for the last maybe 3 or 4 years now. And this is where I take photos of products, do video reviews. Generally speaking, just all the stuff that I produce for YouTube happens here and all the other creative stuff. So in this video today, I will be giving you a tour of the entire space. Basically just walk you through the different areas, kind of just like a breakdown of how I've arranged things so that it's actually useful for my personal life and for the work that I do. So I actually made a video on this garage space a long time ago, maybe a few years ago on YouTube. If you haven't seen that video yet, click on the link at the top of the screen. So this is kind of like an updated version of that video. I've been working here for the last 3 or 4 years now, and so I've made a little bit of some changes, let's put it that way. So you can see that we painted the walls. This got the actual name of this paint, but it's by Behr, and it's cracked pepper, I think, or something. I'll try to look for that specific color because I know people are going to be asking about that. By now, it should be down below in the description box, the actual color. These are actually extra wooden slats from the wood veneer hub that I've used in my home office upstairs and all the other spaces that I've worked on. They're very easy to install. They actually come in like a couple of these pieces per box. You'll see them around in this garage space, but I have a couple of extra slats just lying in that space, and I actually think they look good. This area right here is for the entire family. I have a couple of helmets for when we're riding our bikes. I have this fan from Vornado. If you guys don't know what this brand is awesome. I got this from Costco a long time ago, and it is just a great thing to have in the garage space, especially when it gets super warm. Fortunately, here in San Diego, it doesn't get that warm. So having a fan like that is mostly enough, but I actually have another one over there, which I'll be showing you in a bit. Funny story. So I printed this poster when I used to work at this job a long time ago, and we had this big printer, and I found this photo online, and I actually kind of just like made it into that size, put a logo down there, and printed it without telling the management. So that's our little secret. But ever since then, I've had this photo. I've basically just framed it and put it on this wall just because this is a big empty wall. And the theme for this garage really is just to speak to my love of cars. It's just one of the things that make me who I am, I think. The storage unit is from Amazon. Really great, really easy to install, and very sturdy. On top of it, I have the old Grove-made desk that I used to have somewhere else in the house. It's just a great storage solution in the garage, and I just put the helmets on top of it. So down here, you'll notice that we have a bunch of drinks, and mostly just for us, the family and the kids, when we go travel or whatnot, or when we have guests. So we just keep a stock over here. These are a bunch of like family stuff, but it's really nice to have these large bins. Keeps everything nice and tidy, and it looks really nice. In this corner, I have this bike rack, and this one is made by One Up. It's actually mounted to the wall. I also got that from their website. If I need to bring my e-bike, I attach that to the back of the vehicle and mount my e-bike and basically take it anywhere. It's just a really nice solution to have it here in this corner where it's kind of out of the way. On this side of the garage, we have a bunch of storage cabinets, and I want to bring you to this part right here. So this is kind of the workshop area. And when I say workshop, it's kind of just like my experiment area. So this countertop right here, it's very durable, and I'm not worried about it getting messed up or anything like that. I have a 3D printer here by Bamboo Lab, and this is very new. I've been playing with it. I've been having fun with it, that I started to 3D print a bunch of like these car things. I'll show you more in a little bit. This is where I keep all the messy stuff. Right here on top, I put some of my microfiber cloths when I'm cleaning the car. It's empty right now because I just cleaned the car, so everything's getting washed. This one is just like this silhouette of a Porsche that I got from a company that I'll be linking down below in the description box. Really nice. I wish it was it had LED lights in the back, but it doesn't. So instead, I put these motion activated lights. They're rechargeable at the top. I just turned them off right now because it's bright in the garage. When I approach this area at night, it'll light that area up. It just provides a really nice ambient light. And then more of those wooden slats over there. This is where I keep my cleaning stuff. I apologize for the mess. We're actually moving stuff here in the garage, so it's kind of messy down below, so I'm not going to show that area. This is my handheld vacuum. I have a charging station here for any other stuff that needs to be charged. Some of the tools here that I use in the garage, of course, a security camera. This is really cool. This is one of those things that I 3D printed. These are actually swatches for the 3D printer. That way I can easily find the particular material that I want to use. I'm really just having fun with it right now. I even 3D printed this. This is crazy. Like literally, I just printed it and it comes out like this. It's kind of hard to wrap my head around it in the beginning, but yeah. Can anyone guess what car is underneath this sheet? Let me know down in the comments. And by the way, this actually is empty. In this drawer, I have some of the stuff that I need when I'm out biking. Just random mess, to be honest with you. This, more mess. I try to keep it as organized as possible, but I haven't had the opportunity to do that lately. And here, most of the stuff here are cleaning stuff and some batteries, if we need some batteries. And here at the top, more storage. This is where I keep some of my old stuff, like comic books that I used to have. Actually, a couple of like car stuff here, like, yeah, like that one right there. I haven't built it yet, but that was a gift from my wife and I'm really excited. Just need to find some time to actually do that. So we're gonna move to this side of the garage and you will find that I have my 10 ways e-bike mounted on the wall using this. It's really simple, keeps the bike out of the way, gives me more room in the garage. This one's automated, so when the sun sets, it'll turn on automatically so that when I'm here in the garage or if I walk in the garage at night, there's a little bit of ambient lighting. You can actually see another one of them right there in the corner. Down below, I have my e-scooter and this thing right here. It looks like a table, a foldable table. It's called a Moto Compacto. It's an e-scooter. To be honest with you, it's not the best. It definitely is not the most comfortable or the most practical, but it's a really cool thing, especially if you love the brand. Really nice to add to the collection. Down here, more mess, just because we're moving stuff again. But this wooden slat that I mentioned earlier, this thing is very light and it has this foam padding. So it actually helps with the echo in the garage. This one right here is a projector screen. So sometimes I have my kids sit here in the garage if they want to watch a movie. So I put the projector down here and remove the bike, obviously, and then just roll the screen down and they can have a little seating area here. So what I just showed you right now is basically the front side of the garage. This is where we live. This is where we store stuff. But where I actually work is back there. But I feel like I need to kind of set the mood first because right now it doesn't look as attractive. So let's do that. The garage space looks quite different once the sun sets and the lights are on. I like to keep the lighting in the garage warm because it just adds a certain mood to the space. Also one of the reasons why I like having that strip light right above the bicycle. And I think having the car parked here actually adds to the aesthetic. So what's pretty cool is that once you have the garage door closed and when it's dark inside and all the lights are on, it completely changes the vibe of this garage studio. My car actually does add an aesthetic to this space. If you've seen some of my pictures and posts on Instagram, you most likely have noticed this in the background. And this, for a good reason, is one of my favorite parts of this garage studio. This is my collection of model cars that I recently just got into. It's kind of bad because it's very addicting, but not all of this stuff is expensive. Like this one, for example, this is the Hachiroku or the AE86. I got this off of AliExpress and they're not expensive. This one is by Maisto. I like Maisto models because they're fairly detailed and they're very affordable. Most of them I can find at Costco or even Target. This is probably the most expensive one that I have. This is a limited edition Integra Type R. You can't even open the doors. If you look closely inside, you can see all the details are just amazing in this car. It even has a miniature engine that came with the model and it's really, really cool. But as of late, I've been really interested in these very, very tiny cars. Probably the easiest to collect, obviously because of its size. But this one isn't by Hot Wheels or Matchbox because the models are much more detailed. And because they're much more detailed, they're actually a little bit more expensive. Typically, you can get Hot Wheels or Matchboxes for $5 or less. These, I've seen some as high as $60. It's really, really expensive depending on the model car that you get. This particular model, the FL5 Civic Type R, probably cost me around $18 if I'm not mistaken. I know Porsche is probably the most popular car brand among enthusiasts right now, but I used to be really obsessed with Ferraris, and this is one of my favorite ones. I have two Porsches, I think, this 911 Speedster and the GT3. Quite dusty too. And a couple other things that I thought are really cool just to display here, like this Volk Racing replica wheel of the TE37s. And down below here, I have this Lego piece that I built. It's the Land Rover Defender, super fun to build. And up here, I have a 3D printed silhouette of a vehicle. It happens to be one of my favorite cars. I have a very interesting story about that, but it's the car that I consider to be the one that got away. If you guys can tell me what that vehicle is, my fellow car enthusiasts, let me know down in the comments below. Down below, I have two more 3D printed silhouettes of two other cars that I love. Let me know if you can identify these two cars. I also added the same motion sensing lights right here. These are magnetic and are rechargeable. You can also change the temperature and the intensity of the light. So let's go check out the space where I actually get work done. And this is the part of the garage where the magic actually happens. So I'm gonna move back here a little bit just so you can see a view of my desk setup and my Super 73. So obviously I have my desk setup on this side and my Super 73 S2 e-bike as my background on this side. I have two limited edition posters, high quality, look very nice. And here is one of those old posters as well. To add more visual interest in my background, I decided to put two Lume Cube tube lights here, one on the left and one on the right. For those of you who have followed me for the last few years, this chair will be very familiar to you. This is one of my favorite office chairs because of the looks. Unfortunately, it's not the most comfortable. I mean, you can use this as a task chair, but if you plan on using this as the main chair that you sit in for basically the entire day, I really would not recommend it. It's not as supportive, and I'm a short guy, but I feel like even the back is a little too low or short. Two things that I would say about this chair though, is that it's pretty and it's actually quite durable. It's held up really well, even after owning this for about 5 or 6 years now. So I've kept it here in the garage because it's just nice to have an extra chair here. For my main chair, I'm using the Steelcase Carmen. This is quite new and it's very comfortable. This is what I would recommend for someone who wants to sit in a comfortable chair that's supportive and also just looks really, really good. The upgraded wheels by Stealtho obviously makes this a lot quieter and easier to move here in the garage space. The wheels also have these locks, so if I don't want it to move around, I can just kick it down and it just stays in place. I can just lock it in place. I've had them for a few years now. I really do appreciate your support for that video that I made about their wheels. Stealtho saw that and they were so happy that they were willing to sponsor a part of this video. So if you haven't checked out that video yet, please do. It's right at the top of the screen. I just really appreciate the attention to detail and the engineering that went into their products. Thank you again, Stealtho, and thank you for showing support on that video. That really does help the channel. And just like many other creators out there, I've amassed a collection of bags in this garage space. But instead of hanging them on the wall, I decided to get this coat hanger and just place it here and basically just hang my different bags. I have a couple by Wandered, which is probably my favorite bag at the moment. This company has been making bags for a while now, but I really love the design and the quality of them. I think this is the 9-liter and the 6-liter bag right here, the yellow one. The yellow one in particular is my favorite. It just looks really, really good with the matching duffel. This one just came out. I also have the blue duffel. While it's nice to have them hang on the wall, it just takes so much room. This area is where I keep most of the stuff that I still need to unbox or review. It's just storage area, honestly. All these things, I either have to take photos of them or review them. This clock was actually sent to me by GuntherWorks a few years ago, which still boggles my mind. I mean, it's just amazing to receive a gift from them. I love the fact that I can move the lights around so that I can easily light things up here if I'm filming here. Cool thing about this is I can just move this light over here, and that way you can see me. And of course, this is my desk setup. And yeah, so this has changed over the years. Right now, this is my favorite configuration, quite simple. To kind of walk you through it, I have a Bololo desk shelf on top of the desk, which I used to attach this iPad holder and also this MagSafe holder for my phone. This is the Apple Watch charger holder. And this brand new desk mat that I got from a company called the Mousepad Company. I covered it with another layer just because I kind of like the feel of this. This keyboard is by iQnix. I just love the design and the way it feels. This is completely wireless, but I like the aesthetic of having that cord connected to my CalDigit. This scroll wheel activates or controls the volume, and this metal plate, if you remove it, you've got the Bluetooth dongle hidden. And this extra here, it actually has buttons on each corner, so you can control the media using this. This one's brand new. It's called the OnTrack headphones. And I've been enjoying this for a while now. I bought this. This isn't sponsored, but I think this is one of those very interesting products that look good and genuinely sounds good. I think this is basically my daily headphones. And keeping with the theme of cars, this is one of the models that I was talking about earlier, the small ones that are quite expensive. This one I think was about $16 for the Singer Porsche with the surfboards on top. I have another one that just arrived a few weeks ago. Moving back here, of course, we have my gear corner and my charging station. So if you haven't seen the video of my charging station, I highly recommend you watch it. This is where I charge all of our devices, not just mine, my wife's, my kids' iPads and iPhone, and my camera, my everything that I can think of, even my smart ring. So I have a dedicated area for my smart ring and a bunch of smartwatches here on this side. I have a couple of storage boxes here, and down below I have a collection of desk mats because I've amassed quite a few. And on this wall, on this side, you'll see I have two bags. Like I said, they can look very aesthetic by hanging them on the wall. However, it just takes up so much room. So I might actually take that out and add another shelving system here or something. Here's another view through the mirror, and that's one of the reasons why I love this mirror. It's because it makes the space feel much bigger than it really is. Right below the mirror, I have a storage unit here, also from IKEA. This actually used to be in my home office. And here I keep all my sunglasses between my wife and I. It's a collection here with this really nice case. These two power stations are from Anker. I just did a video on them, and my other pair of headphones. So I'm actually kind of reducing the amount of headphones that I have, at least until I find storage for them. Underneath this storage unit, I'm not even going to show you, but a lot more stuff that either I have to review, take photos of, or just generally kind of have to get rid of. Right here down below, you'll notice that I have the same magnetic light that I used to showcase the model cars over there. This one has been very, very handy, and I basically placed them around this area so that when it's dark and we walk around, especially with my kids, when they walk into the garage studio, they can see their surroundings, even if the lights are off. And I want to show you something really, really cool. So these are my shoes, some of them at least, but I didn't want them to just be sitting in the space like this because it actually takes up so much room. So instead, I 3D printed these shoe holders, and it's really cool. There are two pieces that you put them together, and after that, you can store your shoes like this, which is much cleaner and also saves you some room. The only problem that I have in the garage studio is that during the summer, it can get quite hot here. Now, I'm fortunate enough that I live in San Diego, and the weather here is generally very, very pleasant. But when it does get hot, I have to usually have something open. In the beginning of the video, I showed you one of those Vornado fans that I have, and those are surprisingly good for just circulating air. But I want to show you something that's very new in this garage studio that has helped me a ton in keeping this space livable. And not only does it work, but it actually looks good as well. This fan was sent to me by Vornado a couple months ago, making them one of the sponsors of today's video. This is a new product by Vornado, and it's called the Aura. I think one of the things that makes Aura special is the fact that it looks very nice. Aura was designed to keep you comfortable while remaining as unobtrusive as possible, and it runs at 29 decibels on low, and it's quieter than most interior spaces. If you haven't noticed, it also has an LED light. You can turn it off, but I actually prefer to have it on. It has a touch-sensitive control at the top and a magnetic placement for the remote control so that you don't lose the remote at all. Right now, I believe it's blowing at the lowest fan speed, so let me increase the intensity to just give you an idea. It's actually not that loud considering how strong this thing is, and that's why I love it. This also happens to be Vornado's most powerful tower fan. You can choose between 90 degrees and 180 degrees oscillation and can get a wide sweep of air, whether you put Aura against a wall or in a corner. Other things that I like about this fan is that it has persistent memory. Basically, when you turn off the fan and you turn it back on, it'll remember the last setting that you used. Next are the motors, because not only are they strong, but they're also very quiet and very energy efficient. Originally, I wanted to put an air conditioner here in the garage studio, but that would require a lot more work and obviously money. But the Vornado fan has basically fixed my problem of heating in this garage studio. So again, I want to say thanks to Vornado for sponsoring this fan and for sponsoring this portion of the video. I'll leave you guys a link to check it out for yourselves. Vornado is also providing a special discount code for my viewers. And that pretty much concludes the tour of my garage studio. I hope you enjoyed it. It was really fun to kind of show you guys around. If you have any specific questions, definitely let me know down below in the comments. Let me know if you like this style of video that's, just kind of showing you around. I'm not really sure if that's something that you like, but this is probably the easiest way for me to showcase this entire space, but I had fun doing it. And if you haven't yet, please do consider subscribing to the channel because I've got some really exciting things coming your way. I just recently came back from LA after a 36-hour shoot of something very, very special. It took months to make this happen and probably the most daunting project I've been a part of lately. I say daunting just because it's very experimental, very new, very hard, but also very rewarding and exciting. So stay tuned. Please subscribe to the channel and wait for that video. I'm going to try to get it out as quickly as I can. So thanks for the support. I'll see you guys again very soon.